All right, so y'all, it's day 5, and today we ended up with $269 in profit. I had to calculate it on my phone. So, here, let's get into the trades we took today. All right, so I'm using my vertical line as you already know, like I like to do. Um, and so, with my first trade, I got in for a buy. I only stayed in for a profit of 2 ticks. I saw that price had been selling and then it start back buying, and so I wanted to buy going into my trades for today. All right, so looking here, I had a retest on my 10 second, and now let's see what it looked like on my 30 second. On my 30 second, it showed that price was buying, and so that was a good trade for me to be in. But again, I'm working on my psychology, so I only stayed in 2 ticks. Honestly, that wasn't good. But it ended up working in my favor, because if I had stayed in for my original 15 tick take profit, I would have lost that trade. Okay, so that was trade number 1. And I'm going to put 1 exited early to my advantage. All right. That was trade 1. All right, so for trade 2, looking here, I saw that, okay, price is actually looking like it wants to go down. I started looking at my 30-second price action. I had this spinning top right here. That tool is getting in my way. But this purple over here, that's the spinning top. I don't know what this is, but it made me feel like it's going down. And this here kind of confused me, but I said, okay, let's see what happens. Not really a good choice, but it worked in my favor. I should have gotten into this trade sooner, because as you see, I got in way down here, but the candle closed up here. So that wasn't necessarily the best entry for me. That one also went in my favor for 2 ticks. Still not a good trade. 1 enter late. Exited early to my advantage. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I don't think either one of those were good trades, because hypothetically I should have just waited for my retest right over here for it to come back to this structure on my 30-second and go back up. All right, so now let's look at trade number 3. Trade number 3 was a break even trade over here, and so I did get in for a buy. Looking here, I got in for a buy and I sold at the same price. 5925 is where I sold, and 5925 is where I entered. And so if I'm looking at my 30-second, it wasn't. Actually, it was. That was a really good time for me to get in. That would have been a good time for me. Looking at my 30-second. So, back to this trade, break even trade. And I'm not putting a note on that one today. All right, so moving forward, this was trade number 4. And technically, I should have stopped here. I was not following my trading rules. Not a good thing to do. All right, so here, if I'm looking, I said, okay, price is going up. I want to get in on this. And look, I got in for, again, 2 ticks. 2 ticks is my magic number today. Horrible, but I did end up winning some money. And so here, that was another trade I took and only won 2 ticks. So I'll put that 1. Got in late after the move. All right, that wasn't really a good time for me to get in. All right, so now I see on the 30-second, price had it went up, retested, went back up, small retest, went back up, retest, went back up. Here I noticed, okay, some more good price action. This looks like price is about to go down. And so I said, okay, I want to get in for a sale. And so that's what I did over here. Okay. So if you look at my 10-second, I got in here for a sale. I saw this good price action over here on my 30-second. And even though this pink candle right here shows me that price is going up, again, I was paying more attention to the price action. So I got in for a sale. And here is where I entered. And again, 2 ticks. But look in here, y'all. 59275927. Let's see what this price is. 0.25. I said it's going down. Actually, I lost this trade. 1 tick I lost. And I should have stayed in because that price action was pretty good. And it had to go back down a little bit to retest, if any, at that structure. All right, so here I lost that trade. Lost, exited early. Let's see. Should have stayed in. Okay. All right, there we are. Now that is trade, I don't even know because I'm losing count. Too many. Trade too many. Okay, next I got in again for a buy. And I lost this trade also. Price went down. And I lost this trade. It says 4 ticks, but that does not seem correct. So I got in at 5927. Let's make sure that's my entry price. And I exited at 5926. Okay. And that was 4 ticks. Oh, okay, got you. All right. And so that was my loss right here. I lost that trade. Loss. And I was hoping price was just retesting here. That's what I did. Good job exiting and re-entering with the trend. Okay, so that's what I did there. I lost that trade. However, I noticed I was down. I think I was down about $80 here after that trade. I'm really not sure. But then price started to move in my favor, and I was confident that price was going to go down because it needed to retrace. If you look here, price went up a lot, according to me anyway. Let's see how much it actually had went up. Looking back, it really didn't go up too much, but I was feeling like, okay, price has had this increase. It needs to retrace a little bit. So I'm confident in what I see here. That's what I was thinking. All right, so looking back here at my 30-second when I entered. Okay, so if I entered here, if I'm going back, if this is my entry spot, my 30-second showed me, okay, it's going down. And I can tell you by that time I said I want some of that money. And it was moving quick. And so I got in right here. And I stayed in for, again, only 4 ticks. And I'm just looking at this, y'all, because it just seems weird to me. Okay, that's right. But I got in for 2 contracts. Okay. And so by that point, I won that trade and I was up. Price moved real quick on this one. Exited once, profit target for a day. And honestly, my profit target for today was the end in green, and I ended up in green at $269. All right. So just so you can go back and see that what I'm telling you is accurate, let me show you my money for today. So here, if you look at the account summary, it's total $0 because it's 10:57 at night, and so the market is closed and it resets after the market closes. But you can see the account balance is $49,702, and before on day 4 the profit was, or the total was, $49,433. And you can go back to my day 4 video and check that balance. But today we ended up with $269 profit, and I'm happy with that. Honestly, looking at my trading, it was a blur. I'm still working on my psychology. I am noticing that I'm really just, I don't want to say gambling, knock on wood, but I just noticed that I'm really not sticking to my strategy. I'm all over the place. Yes, I do know how to trade. I feel like I do. But I don't think I'm doing a good job of it. So I want to make sure that I'm being more disciplined, taking good trades, staying in till my take profit or my stop losses hit, unless I see some good price action showing me that I need to get out of a trade. And so I want to become more focused on staying in a trade and choosing good trades so that I'm only having or entering 2 to 3 trades a day max. And yeah. All right. So that's day 5, and stay tuned for day 6. I'll see y'all later.